Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Beth, and I just finished reading Five Star Stranger by Tang. This was my pick for August for Book of the Month, as you can see by this little insignia. And it was published in this month. The book is about 225 pages long, so it's a rather short one. The book is ultimately okay. Um, I do appreciate the representation. Our main character is a Asian American male. He is nameless throughout the novel, and essentially his job is to be a rent-a-stranger. And he's basically rented out for periods of times to weddings to basically fill a position in people's lives to make their lives look better to other people. I mean, that's pretty much his job. And he has one client. Lily is the daughter, and Mary is the mother. The mother works minimum wage, dead end job, and wants to give her daughter a positive male influence. So he's been the father figure for this little girl for 8 years. He only shows up once a week because in her mind he is a trucker and he can only spend Thursdays with her every week. But it's like clockwork, and he's paid for this time. He's basically paid to be a babysitter for Thursday and pretend he's married to a woman. Um, I think that is the most touching aspect of the novel, is him seeing what life could be if he was actually invested in a storyline, invested in being part of society instead of just being a rental aspect. Because of his job, he just continually pushes everyone and everything away. He says he doesn't need friends. His whole mantra is whatever makes you happy makes me happy. He's kind of giving penance by doing his job. He believes that by giving people what they want, he's being a good person. But here's my qualm with that. He's being paid to do these things. He's being paid to like lie to people and put on a facade. But yes, he's making people happy, but I don't know if it relates to his overall goal at all, which I think is the big disconnect in this novel. I I personally wish that it delved deeper into the fact that he's a five-star stranger, on how his career works and how the rental app works, because even though at one point he is given a one-star review, it is quickly taken off, and you don't really see any repercussions for his actions. And he does some relatively shady things in this novel, to say the least. Um, there are moral qualms, and I do believe that the overall message of the book is something to behold, especially the end. I like how it ends in this kind of gray state, which resembles more of real life instead of, being wrapped up in a pretty bow, which I expected the book to end up in. I mean, you look at all these pretty colors, and the look of the novel is very much kind of quirky, funky kind of vibes. At least that's what I was thinking. And to a degree, it does live up to that, but it definitely skews more into literary fiction, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed those aspects. I just wish it was more. It felt like there's a book written in the mid 20th century called The Moviegoer, and I feel like this was very much an homage to that. It's basically a listless man and entrenched in his adult years who is kind of trying to find out what is actually has meaning in his life and what is worth pursuing, and why he hasn't built up attachments up to that point. So I do think that it's kind of akin to that novel. So if you really like this book or really like that book, either way, this is more of a modern rendition of that story. Though, yeah, I think maybe this might relate to other people more than me specifically. I can't say much about it. The prose is okay. It's written like any other book that's come out recently. It's not like literary gold by any means. I don't think that the writing is not especially flowery, and it's not there's no like beautiful imagery I can point to. There's no quotes I underlined in this book. It was just okay. The characters themselves have some depth and they're interesting and intriguing, and this is just a short little romp. It's very short. It's enjoyable, but I don't know if it's worth the money is the thing. Like, this is a hardback novel, and those inherently cost more, and I just don't know if I don't think I made the right pick for this month, essentially. I think that if you're making a pick now, I would maybe recommend trying a different novel, because this one just it was fine. I just don't think I would recommend it personally. I don't even like the book that I mentioned that is quite akin to this, Moviegoer. I don't think that book is particularly my favorite either. So maybe it's just I don't particularly enjoy this genre or this storyline. Maybe because it doesn't relate to me. I just don't think that there's anything challenging about the novel, or anything that just makes me feel good. Because sometimes there's unchallenging novels that are a lot more fun or just intriguing. Like, I wasn't having a hard time getting through the book because it's rather short, but I think if it was longer, I would have a really hard time reading this book. I think that its shortness has kind of saved it in a way. But yeah, I'm honestly not going to recommend it. So, hope you enjoy my review and have a good one.